We are,
And welcome once again. It's that time, that day, that hour, when you allow us open conversation to come into your lives. I'm your man, Simply D, and this is Open Conversation on Heat 100 Radio. Don't even look at me like that. So, sitting next to me, of course, is your girl, my girl Liz. What's up?
What's going on, everybody? You want to take your jacket off and join us?
I'm here. Across from us, of course, is the creator, the one who started all this, known as Mark V.
hey, people, look, it's going to be one of those shows, man. The weather breaking. We running in the studios at the last minute because, you know, we got this busy lifestyle that we live in. We're going to have fun until our guests get here. They coming in at 6:30. What's up, people? Make sure you check us out on Ustream so you can see how crazy things is behind the scene. www.ustream.com. Search Sadior, SADIOR LLCENT. What's up, Dark Child?
Floating out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Let's not even talk about her. She's somewhere, somebody island, in the sunshine, whatever.
Our sister won't be with us tonight or next week because she's getting to enjoy the sun. So we're definitely going to miss her. And
Don't get no darker.
so
I know you ain't talking.
okay.
Like you light
I
skinned.
knew that was like
Her name is Dark Child, right? I'm just saying. So what's going on?
Ain't nothing going on.
Nothing.
You just coming from work?
Of course. Like
I know.
that city traffic to get here and make it here on time and whatnot is a killer. But you know, I'm a driver, so I know how to maneuver.
You are a driver, but you got road rage.
No, I'm not road rage.
Yes, you do, Tony.
I hate stupid people.
Tony's, aka Simply D. Yes, you do.
So if you're stupid and you're driving, you need to just pull over and just don't even drive. This at 5 o'clock, I'm on the road. Just pull over and stop.
Oh my goodness. The world is not going to stop you.
I'm saying, I just hate stupid people. So,
Got nothing to
the
say.
show today is going to be on martial arts experts, Kung Fu Do, and all that.
Kung Fu Do.
Kung Fu.
Kung Fu.
Kung Fu.
I think that's what I was doing on my Instagram. Kung Fu Do. Breaking
That's
wood.
right, where he got that from.
Wasn't it a cartoon Kung Fu or something like that used to come on?
I
There
don't
was
remember.
a cartoon.
Yeah, cartoon guy that had he was doing karate or something.
Yeah.
We're gonna look that up and get back to you.
Kung Fu.
So y'all can YouTube.
That's a dish, ain't it? Kung Fu food.
You know what? Look,
I'm gonna get when I leave the show, y'all. I'm gonna go get me a pint of Kung Fu food
with gravy. With
with brown gravy. You got some
Brown
brown
gravy.
gravy.
Gotta put the brown gravy. Brown rice.
Man.
Why they put brown gravy on everything?
That's all they know.
That, yeah,
So
yeah,
just say
yeah,
brown
yeah.
gravy.
No, they got light gravy.
I ain't never seen an Asian
They
dish
got
with
like-
light gravy.
They
on
got
it.
light gravy.
They got
Garlic,
gravy?
garlic, something they call it
They
sauce.
got light skin gravy.
Yeah, light skin gravy, dark skin gravy. Look, I'm sticking up for my light skin gravy. Look. Anyway, we gonna have a ball, man. The weather breaking, so you see, sun shines in the air. You know, we in
It's
happy
still
mood.
cold.
Yeah, it's still a little cold, but it's better than that other stuff that was dropping.
True that.
Which I'm not gonna say because people got this thing that you say and it comes or whatever the case may be. So
Yeah.
you know, but we got the engineer Divine in the studio, and we got
and I mean
yeah, we got the lovely Almina. She just came
fresh
from
back
vacation.
from Phoenix,
yeah,
right? Phoenix, Arizona.
Texas, Tucson.
Oh,
Tucson.
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 They was wearing a 6-piece.
Tucson. Tucson. I gotta look that up.
Yeah, 6-shooter.
Yeah. Tucson. She coming
I
back
just
from
want to order
Texas.
Kung Fu food.
Arizona.
It's all like
Arizona.
brown gravy.
Don't they got
In
Texas though
Texas?
too?
In Arizona?
There's Tucson, Texas or something?
No.
No?
No, I never heard
No.
of Tucson.
There's something, I don't know. Maybe in my world they had a Tucson, Texas. I don't know.
You know they
Hey.
say that stuff stay in your brain a long time.
No,
What's
I got a lot of stuff, you know.
You know what stuff.
What's up?
She tried to come at me. Look, she tried.
What's
No, I'm just saying.
Anyway, so
So
what's going on? What we need, engineer? Come on, direct the show. What we got to do? What we doing? We're gonna do our segments now, or we gonna get stuff out the way early.
Yeah, I guess so.
You said, I guess so.
Yes.
Wouldn't you love to have a boss at your job? You say, boss, I'm here to work. Do I have to work? He say, I guess so. It's up to you, Tone, if you want to work.
Yeah.
Simply do what you want to do today. Nothing. All right, you got it.
You're right.
Sit down. Don't do anything. We'll pay you for sitting.
And
And
crack
get
the big girl now.
And get paid for it.
Yeah. Yo,
I got nothing to say.
you said you ain't got nothing to say. Look,
He said, I guess.
get the news out the way. You want to do the news?
Okay, yeah. Let's jump
Yeah,
into
I
the
want to
news.
jump into this story.
Look, we
What's
say
what-
news.
what-
Liz jumped up like, yeah, I got a couple things on my
Listen.
mind.
That'll be my story.
Listen, people, do me a favor. Seriously, real talk. If you want to go to the casino, save at least 20 of those dollars you're going to put in that slot machine or on that blackjack table and get a babysitter.
Huh?
Did y'all hear that story? This man got locked up, left his child in a car. I don't know if the child was 6 or 10. I heard it this morning when I was getting ready for work. But you know, I get ready for work. It's very, very early in the morning. So I had on Fox 29. He left his 6-year-old, it was a young kid, so I'm thinking 6 or whatever, in his car while he went into the casino. Someone called the police. Police came, got the kid, took him into protective custody.
Mm-hmm.
The father continued to play. They was looking for the father
Right.
in the casino. And I don't know if the father knew they was looking, whatever, but he didn't go try to find them or anything. But this isn't the first story that I've heard this. You hear people who do that all the time. So I'm not understanding. Like, is it that serious?
Gambling is a disease. Yeah.
I understand that.
Yes, because they lose their mind. That's all they're thinking about is trying to get that.
But you
win
can't
that money.
find nobody to watch them kids.
Obviously, they didn't have a babysitter.
Why? I don't understand. I'm gonna start a business for those gamblers who got kids
They need someone watching.
and they want to go to the casino.
There you go.
Bring them to me. Cause like for the daycare in the casino, that was our engineer saying for the daycare in the casino. No, seriously, that's sad. Like I'm not like understanding how people do that.
I don't understand how a lot of people do
It
that. A lot of things. Look,
It's a disease that they suffer from. So
I get all of that, but I don't know. That just really made me mad this morning. Cause I'm like, really? For 3 hours?
Yeah.
That poor kid was in their car. And
it's like a drug, I guess.
I don't know.
That's what Simply D's saying, that people
It
have
is
it
a
bad,
disease,
man.
and I
It's a bad
understand that.
disease, but
Gamblers Anonymous and all of that. I know about all that. But
people putting their house up, losing their houses, and but they are building another casino soon. Look,
just what we need.
look. So that
All
shows
right,
you
so
where
what
we stand.
story you wanted to talk about, Tom?
I wanted to talk about the SAE fraternity in Oklahoma.
Oh Lord.
Now, the 2 students that they caught on camera came out and made apologies. To me,
Well, tell a little bit about the story.
Okay, about the
Might
story.
know.
They were on the bus and they were chanting. It was the SLS
or whatever. S whatever.
fraternity, and it was also their sister fraternity, which is called
One is a sorority, one
Tri Delta.
is a sorority.
Yeah, there was the
Yeah.
sister group, which nothing happened to them. Their chapter has not been broken up or suspended. Okay, so anyway, they were on this bus and they're making a little racist chant. What I wanted to comment on was this is not an insulated situation. From the research that I did, it seems that there have been incidents in Texas, Missouri, and several other states where this chapter has a fraternity where they have done these type of chants, where they have, let me see, let me look at my notes here. They've had certain type of parties where they've had a welfare party where you came dressed up as quote unquote a nigger. They've had different events like this where they've gathered in large amounts and just had different types of chants negative towards black people. Now, what was amazing to me about this, usually when something like this happens, it takes a couple of days because they want to do an investigation and see what happened. Apparently, the powers to be didn't want this chapter investigated to see how racist it is. So within hours of this video going viral, the president of that chapter called the school, had it shut down, and had the president of the school make a statement so that, you know, the chapter or fraternity was expelled and, you know, everything was locked down like they're on top of it. This is an insulated event and we're shocked by this. No. One of the guys who made an apology said he was taught this chant. So if he was taught that chant, that means others were taught that chant. And that chant has been around for quite some time.
Well, fraternities and sororities are built on history and tradition within that fraternity or sorority. So I'm not surprised. It probably was something that has always been in there. Just maybe in the past, they weren't dumb enough to videotape it.
Exactly.
So that stuff is going to go on. I mean, you look at a black fraternity and a black sorority versus the white fraternities. They operate totally differently. They party different. They stand for different things and all of that. I mean, they always have been kind of separated. If you want to say, you might have one or two, you know, Caucasians in the black one or vice versa. But I kind of applaud the school for taking action that fast, because had they not, then people would have had a problem with that.
Yeah, people would have had a problem with it, but the only reason that action was taken so quickly was because I don't think, and from what my inside sources were telling me, that they wanted this particular chapter. Oh yes, I got inside sources. They didn't
Connected.
They didn't want this particular chapter investigated because the investigation would have shown just how racist that this fraternity is.
Well, rather they want it investigated or not, it's going to get investigated. People are going to, you know, the media is going to dig into it anyway. So what's going to come out is going to come out. I still think that instead, because colleges have been known to cover up things like rapes and things that go on campuses in these universities, they tend to cover them up because they don't want that negative light on their school. So I say, you know, I applaud them for reacting that fast, and not only, you know, they didn't just get suspended for 6 months or whatever, they shut them down, period. Stripped them letters off and all of that. So I don't know, I look at things a little bit differently, but I'm glad that they did that, because had they drugged their feet and this went out on social media, then people would have been like, why is it taking so long? What are you investigating? It's right there in your face.
Right.
So what do you need? Sometimes we spend all this time investigating, like those two guys that killed that police officer. And they're doing, and of course you got to investigate, you got to build your case. I get all of that. But sometimes now they're saying that they think they're responsible for, you know, a string. But we do all this investigation sometimes, and sometimes some things are just cut and dry.
Yeah,
there's a video that they did it, and the school acted accordingly.
Well, I'll tell you this. I also found out that according to some of the students who go to Oklahoma University, that particular chapter is not the most racist one on that campus.
Oh, I'm sure, but it's Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I'm trying to understand. Right? Yeah, why are people like shocked and appalled?
Yeah.
Well, you
like,
know what?
It's Oklahoma. Not Atlanta, you know.
Not New York.
Not Orlando, Florida or somewhere. It's Oklahoma. Like, do they even have black people in Oklahoma?
Real quick, before we get into this dumb moment, my news story is simple. You know, we sorry to hear about the police officers that got shot. I know everybody's been all over the news. They haven't found anybody yet. The district attorney, I think, said that they went through the roof at a house and they didn't catch the person yet, so they in search. So be prepared to watch the news and the media for the next couple of days until they find out who shot these two police officers. Real quick, we're gonna go into Tony, aka Simply D's Dum Dum Moment. Now, this is live.
Oh, okay.
You're tuned into Open Conversation here on Heat 100 Radio.
I hope y'all watching
Now
on
we're getting ready to
YouTube.
start Simply D's Dum Dum Moment.
Because I'm hearing music in the headphones.
Yeah, that's my look, that's my underlay music that I did your intro.
Well, I'm a different set of
Look,
headphones.
look.
I ain't hear no music. That's just me.
What's up, Simply? What we got? Who's the
Okay.
Dum Dum this week?
Him.
Dum Dum, no, not this week.
No,
That was last
No,
Week
this
before
was a
last.
dumb moment, but just now that happened. But oh yeah.
The Dum Dum Moment this week is titled Mr. Ignorant Blank Man. So, you yell out at the State of the Union before the nation to the leader of the world. You don't stand or clap like others at his PowerPoints and his speeches. You won't pass a bill that he agrees with, even if it was something that you wanted passed in the past. You say he doesn't love America. Now you're sending letters to other national leaders undermining him. But let me tell you this, dum-dums. You have been very disrespectful to the President of the United States. But you dum-dums are going to get yours sooner or later. You 47 dum-dum senators who thought it was okay to send a letter to another nation and that nation's leader was one of the most dumbest moves you could have made. I do hope at some point that the people who voted you in office realize what you did and vote your dumb behinds out of office, because you were some real dum-dums. That's my dum-dum moment for this week.
I agree with that one. Real quick, I gotta give my AKA Liz 2 cents, but my Mark 5 2 cents on that one. They haven't had respect for our president since he got in office.
Nope.
And I don't even need to go into why. I mean, it's self-explanatory. And it's to the point that after Hillary won, they're really gonna be mad. Because you're mad that a colored man got in office. Now you're gonna be mad that a female got in office. You know? So that's all I gotta say on that.
Listen. Mad ain't even gonna be the word. Because you're right. You notice every other president, Mr. President.
Mm-hmm.
It's Obama. Like, okay, why are we taking out Mr. President and addressing him properly? Like, I don't understand. Like, I never got that. You know, sometimes you hear, President Obama, but they always just address him as Obama. Not Mr. President, not President Obama, but Obama. So, but, black man's in office, so now it's time for a woman. Whatever color she is. She can be green, I don't care. I bet you we won't be in deep
That
doo-doo.
look, well, they both started with D. So.
Yeah. D.
That.
Since women are always so emotional, so y'all say.
And on that note, you're tuned in to Sadior Presents Open Conversation Show here on Heat 100 Radio. We will be right back after this music break.
Look at it. Something else. Mint condition.
That's cool. That might be mint condition. You got the oil on? Yeah. That's just a song you ain't never heard. That's why you got lost.
Open up your mind and get culture, educate yourself.
Right.
Man. Look, man.
Right. I was trying to do them first before I went to commercial.
Who?
With break. Music break.
Do what? Oh, the drop.
What kind?
I do it when I can. I
He
saw
wasn't
it
talking to
when-
me. He was talking to me.
Oh.
I got the index card.
Okay. I didn't know why you had them. I just thought you found them in the
I gave it
papers.
to her.
No, if you notice, there's a whole bunch of them floating around.
I just thought you found them in between your papers or something.
No.
That's why I was like.
They would slid to me. I need you to pay attention when people. I don't like when people don't look at me when I talk. I'm an eye contact person. Do you notice that? That's so rude to me. When people are like you talking and people, are like, you agree that's rude, right?
That's the same as this.
What?
Talking to myself.
You want us to leave? Because there was some loud ass talking to yourself. Green tea. I gotta try that.
All right, when we come back, what we doing now?
When you doing your segment?
For me? Well, my segment is a bunch of information about the bully event, next week's topic, Simply Monica's birthday bash. Where them flyers at? All them flyers that I had. Because I know that they gonna be at 6:30, so I just basically dart out in here. I just
Oh, then you need to.
so let's do it.
They're behind Liz.
What's the letter about? Just give me a little bit to see if we gonna do it now or when the guests come. Well, it fit a bunch of older martial artists, but one of them I think is younger. Or we can just do it and just rock out with it.
I mean, I don't know if it'll fit them or not, but
I mean, like, do you want just us to do it? Do it, or you want to bring them in on it?
I mean, we can do it.
Debating about it also because your segment you're taking up. Yes, we can talk about it also.
What?
Your segment, your letter.
A lot of people talk about it.
You have more people in here to talk about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I always try to have a guest involved. But if it's
But if they just, I mean,
they just, I don't want to be all dry and shit. So let me remember.
you got the
remember
event for the
we
18th that he's like. Huh? You got the event for the 18th.
Yeah. Let me put that date down. The 18th.
Next Wednesday.
I'm gonna look up the flyer anyway on my phone.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Why your phone keep on?
How long we got on that? You can do 1 hour drops after that go off.
2 minutes.
Damn, so long as that's making addition. That's why. That's one of them songs you put in when you gotta go to the bathroom, go get something to eat. One of those songs. Let me bring this flyer up. I got saved in my pictures anyway. Yeah, so we can do. I'll come back and do my segment. Then we can talk about the letter.
Drops on here.
all right, I'll bring this back because I'll do this and then I'll throw it to you. I'll say, Mark, tell us what's going on with events coming up, something like that.
Just help me out. Screenshot. She canceled the bowling party, so that's canceled.
She did.
What's up, Ustream? We just getting ready. Gotta start talking to y'all. I know y'all get tired of watching the Ustream and don't know what the heck is going on. We in the back.
They know what's
Off the
going
air.
on.
Who bringing us back? What we gonna?
She got
What you gonna talk about though?
the stuff, and then I'm gonna bring us back and do all the information about the events and stuff.
Here it is, Mark, but
Alright, that's cool.
it's
30
not-
seconds.
Oh shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
Go.
I get it.
Okay.
That's on my wall. That's on my pictures.
Yeah, I had to go to my page.
You ready?
20 seconds.
Cool.
10. And
Keep with it.
we're back.
What's up, everybody? This is that girl Liz, and you are tuned in to Open Conversation Show right here on Heat 100 Radio. So, there's a couple ways to check us out. Obviously, if you have the app, Heat 100 Radio, you can hear us. Or you can see us live in the craziness that go on when we're on the break at Ustream. So, it's Ustream. .com.
You looked up at it.
Ustream.com, and you want to search for Sadior, Sadior, LLCENT. You'll be able to see everything that's going on. If you turn it on right now, you see me waving. What's up? I'm that fine girl, the only one in the room. Oh well, Amina's here too. She cute. but you can't see her. Just
Yeah,
me.
you can't see it. She got
Yeah,
some
you can't
stuff.
see her.
She hidden in the background.
She don't like to be seen, but she like to be heard. That's what I got to say. So I'm gonna throw it over to Mark 5 so he can tell us what's going on. We got a lot of different events that we are going to be at and that we know about. So we're gonna tell you all about them.
I'm
Get
gonna
a pen
break
and
it
paper.
down real quick. So, and if you don't get it, just follow us on social media. That's all. Search Open
Yep.
Conversation Show on Ustream or call us while we on the air till 8 o'clock, 267-368-5328. People tell me that I was waiting for you to say the number again. So get your pen because I'm gonna say it again when I'm done these events. All right, first I want to give a shout out to all the gentlemen that agreed to join us the 21st of this month for our second empowerment, men's empowerment circle. I want to give a shout out to Abbotsford Homes because they let us use the community center thanks to our engineer Divine. So we're looking forward to that. We got this going to be crazy. We got a lot of great guests. I can't shout everybody out yet because I'm still confirming individuals. I want to thank Abbotsford for putting me on their board for their scholarship fund. Shout out to Mr. Wayne Hood and Curtis Brinkley. We got what else? Mass Bomb All Class Reunion. I definitely gotta send them a shout out. I know a lot of them are starting to follow Open Conversation and they're supporting DJ Manny Strong, which is our Open Conversation show DJ, which will be DJing at the Mass Bomb All Class Reunion, which I'll be hosting, and Aaron, one of the seniors one of the alumni of Mass Bomb. Book of Nimrod is back in full effect. We got an event coming up. I'm going to get back to you and give you all that information. I want to make sure that I give you that information so you can join all the cast of the Book of Nimrod with Sadior Photography and Films down on Main Street. That information will be coming, in a little bit.
If you don't know what the Book of Nimrod is, it's a web series that's actually being filmed to be a regular, like I guess hour-long series. You can go to YouTube and type in the Book of Nimrod, and you can watch. I think it's 9 episodes on there.
Yeah, the webisodes.
So just check them out. It's a real good story, and it pulls you in. It's based in Philadelphia, so definitely show some support. And check it out. Okay, I just wanted to throw that.
No, I appreciate that because now I'm going to throw you out there and have you help me with the bully event that's coming up next Wednesday that girl Liz is strongly involved in, and also one of our Open Conversation and Liz's best friend and my best friend and everybody's best friend Dimitri is involved in next Wednesday.
Hold up, excuse me. She's only my best friend.
That's my baby.
She can be your baby.
That's my baby. That's
big
my
sister.
Look, you got real quick. I'm gonna give you this information. I'm gonna get back to Dimitri because it was a funny picture I put up when somebody posted. I don't know if you read it, but that event is next Wednesday, 139 Ridge Avenue. That's Soul to Soul Restaurant, Philadelphia, PA. It's going to be March 18th, 2015, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Tickets are $20. If you want to get in contact with anyone, I'm looking for a contact number. You can reach me, and I can give you the direct number to reach someone to get tickets. My number at the office is 215-909-6070, or try to reach us before we get off the air again at 267-368-5328, or follow that girl Liz or myself or Dimitri on their social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or wherever you can reach us. So that way you can purchase these tickets. It's very important that you support these type of events because these are the things that bring attention and awareness to things that need to be recognized.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is, everybody at one point has been bullied, or you have kids that may have went through this. Teach anti-bullying brings awareness to this, so you'll hear about their story. Nakia Dillard, what's up, Nakia? I hope you're listening. He is a performing arts school. He'll be there. So I'm definitely excited. It's next Wednesday. It's like a cocktail hour, so you won't be out late. You can still get up for work on Thursday. It's about the kids, so come out and show some support. You can catch me or reach out to me on Facebook either through our Open Conversation page or Elizabeth Monica Johnson. That's my full government name.
Look, yeah, she just put it out there, right?
I don't have no warrants. I'm
Monica
good.
Johnson.
I hope nobody's looking for you.
They're
Yeah,
not.
because-
Except for
because
some
you don't know
people
that.
I owe money to, the bill collectors. And they already know where to find me, so we good.
You sure you did?
I'm
Well, you ain't gonna be. I ain't
positive.
gonna get no phone calls. Well, no, you got it.
I got you, I got
Look.
Fluffy, I got Simply D, Lawrence,
Yeah, so,
Mr. Fastlane, I miss him.
yeah, definitely shout out to Mr. Fastlane.
I know I
You
can call him up, he be on the block.
Yeah, for real, right? He probably knows some of the people who is that type of issue.
Like, I remember you was on. Yeah, so we good.
We good.
Yeah.
So real quick, I got one more, and I'm gonna come back to you later on the show to give you some more information about some more of the events. You got the heavy hitter of comedy, Aries All-Star Birthday Bash. Ron Curtis and Simply Monica, our own Simply Monica, co-owner of Heat 100 Radio. You catch her out every Monday through Friday, early in the morning.
Yeah.
Look, early, too early in the morning. And catch the morning rush with her team. Tickets $20. For more information, you can reach Gary O 267-249-0528 or Simply Monica 267-467-6866. I'm not giving all those numbers out. Reach one of them and they can help you out. So we're gonna take a real quick music break because our guest just stepped in the building because we're gonna get that topic running right after we do Dear OC Letter with That Girl Liz. So you're tuned in to Open Conversation. Okay, go ahead, keep it on. You cut me off. Go ahead. No, but I already recorded. I recorded. That's why I was waiting to see if you gonna cut me
You
off.
can
but I
scoot
said-
up if you
No,
want so they
okay.
can hear you on the mic.
Okay.
No, I know.
Hello, how are you?
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you again. All right.
I am That Girl Liz, one of the hosts. And
How you doing?
Hey, what's going on now? Mark, all right. Nice to meet you.
Grandmaster Belfield.
Everybody, that's Tony, Simply D, Liz, Devon. I know y'all met, but I'm still learning this real quick so I don't want to be rude. And that's Almina. That's the producer of the show. That's the engineer, and that's the other two hosts. One of the hosts is not here. She's luckily to be on vacation in the sunny beach of one of the islands.
she's on a 2-week cruise.
Yeah, she
We hate
must
right
be
now.
nice. Look, well, we
I'm
can't hate too
hating.
much now. Last week we really was hating because we had snow.
Locked back up now. My phone locked back up. Oh.
What's on? Oh, is it on here?
So just to
Well,
give
right,
you guys a
yeah.
quick rundown on how the show goes.
I'm gonna go back and,
We hear certain cues, so if you see me do this, then we want to bring our comments to a close and kind of keep them detailed but short because we're on the radios. We're going to have a lot of questions. Each one of us prepared questions, did some research and things like that. So, not any long-winded. So, so that our audience can know, and get a clear idea, understanding what martial arts is. We also use stream, so you are on camera, which is there. So wave to everybody. People watch us. You gave it. What's up?
I'm end up moving it.
Any
Y'all look over
questions
here.
or anything? Can they see?
There's another gentleman that will be coming here at approximately 7:30. One will step out. And
Well, he ain't gotta step out.
He
He ain't gotta step out, but I gotta chair. That's why I ain't gonna have y'all.
You don't have to step out.
Yeah, you know what? No, we can get
He in
a chair.
shape.
I got
He
you.
can hit the floor. We just are laid back. We have fun. We do ask very intelligent questions. I'm like the interviewer person, so. But it's fun, and it is just open conversation. There's no script, no any of that. I just like to prepare the guests because sometimes people are talking and forget we're on the radio.
Put another song up.
So we want to make sure people understand. I can hear cues, and they might be like, "Okay, we got to go to a break." So I like to give a little, like I might put my finger up, so and then you can finish the thought. I got paper if you want to write it down, so you read where you left off, and then pick it back up after you come.
Okay, and you're the one who will be giving the.
I'll do that. Yeah. I want to put my leg up. Let me write y'all's name. Can your name is
Carlton Belfield.
Use the master.
Of identification.
Yeah, use
that's Grandmaster.
Yeah,
That's
definitely use it. You worked for it. You earn it. I tell people that all the time. You got a bachelor's, a master's degree. Let people know.
I'm just gonna say grandmaster. Mark had already told me. And you are so.
Grandmaster Edward Roane.
Spell your last name.
Roane.
Oh, okay. And you are so.
Master David Holley.
That's for the
David, right?
Yes.
Holley.
Yes.
My last one was one L.
that way.
D-E-L. One L. Belfield.
Okay.
Can you see
That one so better.
Thank you.
I didn't even write his last name down because I like Grandmaster Carlton.
Oh, that
That has a better ring to it than with you guys. I have to look the last name.
most of the people wouldn't even know what you're talking about.
Well, no,
me Carl.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh,
the name is
really?
Carl. They always say when they do the first name, they say Carl. Most of Belfield.
No, because
My
I'm
mother
like,
used to hate that
I'm
shit.
Liz, and I will always introduce myself Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Okay.
I don't mind Liz, but I always like.
Okay.
How long you got?
That's the only my friends call me today.
Song got 2.5 minutes.
No, only my grandma and one other person calls me Lizzie. Lizzie.
So
I haven't
basically,
heard
when
that name in a long
Like,
time.
we
ask- Lizzie.
Yeah, you don't
ask
hear
a
that much.
question,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like all three of you can answer it if you want, or you know you can decide between the three of you who's going to
Okay.
answer. Like for instance, since I heard all three of y'all are grandmasters, right?
So he's
No,
out.
he's a
He's
master.
just a grandmaster.
Okay, so I might say, how did you reach the level of becoming a grandmaster? You know what I mean? So that's one of the questions I just wrote down. Also, what type of style of karate do you teach? How long does it take one to become an expert or a grandmaster or reach the different levels, and what are the different levels? You know, stuff like that. You know, because everybody don't know these things. You know what I'm saying? So you want to like get simple stuff out of the way and then build it up. You know what I'm saying?
What are you doing?
What do you mean?
You ain't hear me say
I heard you say it, but I'm saying I'm listening. I'm writing stuff down.
Y'all ever watch what's that? Archie and Edith?
That's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you really just
Yeah,
listen
look,
to
look,
ever watch
Them
that?
two. Look.
That still
What's that
come
called?
on.
What is it
Yeah,
called?
it's still
Fam-
come
no,
All
All
my
my
Family.
family.
That's
Look, look, look.
I'm all like, what are you doing?
All right.
So when we come back,
Dress code written there.
I do a Dear OC letter. People writing letters to us. This one's kind of interesting. I'm glad I have a lot of men in the building because
You need this?
this one is pretty interesting. So I'll read it and then we, talk about. And it's a real person who's writing in for advice. But it's just interesting that this show is like all guys here because this one she might need. She's put me specifically, but I think she might need to hear from a man and why her man is acting the way he's acting. They don't get to hear it.
Be back.
It go.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Well, thanks a lot.
My bad. I'm sorry.
What's up, everybody? You are tuned into Open Conversation. I love you, Lawrence.
We're at Sydney Belfield. If you know anything about being an engineer, come on down to the station. We're taking the application.
Yes, you are fired. Like,
I'm trying to find the letter thing.
what a way to throw a sister under the bus. You trying to? Don't even worry about it. Don't hurt yourself.
So where we at? What we doing?
I'm still too through with him right now. Make sure if you want to check us out, you can check us out on Ustream. .com and you look for Sadior LLC ENT. You get to see all the crazy stuff going on behind the scenes and the fun times we have. You just missed the fun.
All right, what Devon do?
Thank you.
I can imagine he
We
did
sitting
something.
here having a conversation.
And he put you on air.
He's like, "Oh yeah, we're back."
Only on open conversation.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you know what time it is. It's that time for the Dear OC letter.
I know you got her.
Huh?
Go ahead. No, I'm messing with him, man.
Oh,
You want me to intro you? You can just go
yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
Nah,
Make it
nah,
up.
I ain't
Come
gonna
on,
do
come
that.
on, come
Nah,
on.
I ain't doing that.
Come on, do it.
No.
Come on, Pastor.
No.
Pastor Mark 5. Oh, Lord. Okay, let me pull this letter up. I love my teacher. I really do. Okay, so this letter comes from this young lady. Well, yeah, it's a young lady, but it says, "Hey there, girl Liz. I have been in a relationship for 5 years, and other than arguing over little things, our relationship is pretty normal. Communication has always been good, but lately he has been distant and staying out later than normal. Our sex life has also changed and is not as fun or passionate. I listen to you guys all the time, and you always keep it real. So what do you think this means? Should I be worried?" And the sign scared.
Yes, you should be worried.
Very
And let me just say this. I said to our guests, I said, I'm so glad I'm like in a room full of men because and they don't know how I think, but my co-hosts know, and if you guys follow us, you know how I am and how I feel. Just because she's a woman, I'm not all on the women's bandwagon, and I'm with you. Yes, you should be very, very worried. I'm going to let the fellas tell you, Sister Scared, what that means. And then I'm going to tell you what I think it means.
Who want to go first? Because I'm ready.
Look, he tapping his hand and everything.
Go
Assuming they ready.
What does it mean?
Basically, sweetheart, your man is cheating.
Straight to the
If
point.
straight to the point. Let's not even play no games. If he's distant all of a sudden, that's because he has someone else in his life and he's starting to fade you out. Staying out, that's because he's with her. Sex life is different. That's because it's boring with you now and it's more exciting with her. End of story. You need to pack up his stuff, put it to the left in the corner, and tell him to move out. Boom.
Elvis has left the building.
He just dropped the mic and left.
Yeah. Yes. Grandmaster called it.
He said, hey.
I'm gonna
How can you follow that?
Pastor David, do you have anything? What is simply D saying correct?
Could be, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so he's like could be.
Yeah, that's correct.
I agree. I mean, it's simple. I'm not going to sit there and say take it to the point where you leave the relationship.
Why not?
Can a sister talk?
Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm not going to say take it to the point where you leave the relationship. That's a long time to be invested into someone. I would say I'm a person that goes with her instincts. You know how I am. I don't take that kindly. If I see a change up, I'm going to come out and confront you. Like, look, I see a change. I'm not that easily where, oh, no, baby, it's just blah. No, that doesn't work for me. But as I've always said, most women are so pressed and thirsty for a man in a relationship, they settle for whatever you dudes throw at them. I personally wouldn't say I would leave right away, but I'll be making my exit strategy. That's just how I roll.
I mean, she ready to start using the secret bank account that all women have.
Okay.
Because I'm a firm believer in what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Please understand. So if you want to stay out till 2 o'clock, I might be hanging out till 2 o'clock. Not saying I'm going to be cheating. I don't know if he's cheating. I don't know that. However, yeah, pretty much. There's someone that has his attention. Now, if he's taking it to that level, I don't know. But there's some other woman that has his attention out there. Or maybe he's just really depressed. I don't know, but you need to figure it out. But I would be planning accordingly because I kind of agree with Master David and my own Simply Did.
You said he's kind of depressed.
I said, or he's kind of. I was being sarcastic.
Oh, okay, because
calm down.
He's not depressed.
Down.
He's distant. He's staying out.
You wrote notes on this?
He's
Simply D wrote notes.
sex life is different. He's having fun.
Listen.
Come on.
Listen. So that was our Dear OC letter. I got clapping.
Look. That's
You
what
a
it
little
is.
distant over there, Divine. You alright?
I had to clap on that.
Yeah. He totally agree on that one.
Thank you for sending in your letter. I hope that has helped. But you're hearing it from men, so I'm just saying. But keep the letters coming. You can send them to Sadior. DearOC .com, and I will get them.
Look, here you go. Now you are.
What is it?
Dear OC at Sadior.com.
Okay. Well, I don't send them.
Look.
And whoever you are, can you send us a follow-up letter? Let us know what you do, please.
Oh yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah, I would like to know.
And just don't give him my address to the station. Whatever you do. I'm like, open conversation. What time they on? Look. Matter of fact, if you come now while we got some
We can talk smack.
We secured up. So
I guarantee you.
Let's don't come next week when we got the bullying show on.
Listen, I guarantee you with the fellas we have in this room and the muscles and stuff I see, yeah, you ain't doing nothing. But you get the beat down. But anyway. So, Mark, you want to introduce our guest?
No, I'm going to let them introduce themselves because I want to make sure it's done right. But, we're going to go around the room real quick and have everyone introduce themselves. Let me give you my mic. And your name is?
Grandmaster Carlton Belfield.
All right. And your name is?
I'm Grandmaster Edward Roane.
Okay. And your name is?
Master David Holley.
And we're also at around 7:30 during the show. We're going to have
Master John A. Black.
All right. So that's what we're rolling with right now. So we're going to give a lot of information here on Open Conversation. Yeah, that's funny. As soon as I tell people that, that's the first song they say. I don't know what it is. So we're going to take a quick break and get rolling with our topic. A real quick break. So don't leave. Don't go get no juice or water. We'll be right back here on Open Conversation on Heat 100 Radio.
Yeah, in this case, we'd be doing taekwondo fighting.
Well, that's one of my questions. So I am going to ask because I know there are different styles of martial arts. So we will, just you can just name them and tell us when you can hear, difference on different styles and things like that. So that is one of my questions because people think it's all karate and it's not.
All right, what we're going to do is fade out and get started. Who's going to bring us in?
I'll bring us back.
All right.
Just, we doing that. Archie. What?
You know what I need y'all to do? Can your mic fit in between y'all so we got to keep moving these noises behind mics?
Yeah.
All right, y'all share that mic. And move that between y'all if you can. Like, so they can share that mic. But when the guests come, what we'll do is have y'all share this one and y'all share that one. But you can hear it anyway.
That one,
If not, I'll let you know because I can hear us.
yeah, that's as far as that was going.
All right. That should be. Say something for me.
Testing.
Yeah,
Testing.
he good. And I'll just have to share this a little bit. I hate that. They need to tighten it. All right, you can hate that corny whack rap. Exactly. Tell us when we're back. I'll bring us back. And we are back here on Sadior Presents Open Conversation. That girl Liz, what you got for us?
Well, I'm just sitting here chilling, looking at all these muscles up in this room.
Where's Fluffy?
He probably listening.
Oh, okay.
My man ain't insecure, boo.
I'm just
Please
saying.
believe that.
And that'll be the next show.
The next show is my man ain't insecure, boo.
We'll talk about that. Remember?
Yeah.
We're gonna get into that. Trust me.
Yeah, we was talking about women.
Yeah, you know.
But so I am sitting here. We're going to talk about martial arts in case you missed the beginning of the show and what the topic is. And I guess you're like, well, why are they having that kind of the show or topic? That's a big. I don't even know. It's not a sport. Is it, or is it what is the official thing I should say? Because it's a big business. I know that.
Well, certain aspects of it are sports. That happened, maybe about 30 years ago.
Okay.
With that, but there is a sport aspect to martial arts.
Okay. Okay. But I just know it's a big business. And a lot of competition, a whole lot of hard work. So we're curious and we wanted to know. So we have not one, but two grandmasters, and I'm going to have them explain to you, because that's just not, somebody, can do karate chops. Being a grandmaster, I know, takes a lot of work. There's different degrees of being a grandmaster. I do know that much. See, I'm doing homework. And then we also have a master, who I know takes a lot of work. So, let's see. Master called Tim Belfield. Yes. So what is a grandmaster? What is that, and how do you get to that status?
Well, a grandmaster is, some people say master of masters. We started out just like everyone else with the lowest belt, worked our way up to black belt, and then once you get to be black belt, there's first, second, third degree, and then when you get fourth degree, you're a master. And then you work your way up to Grand Master, which in some styles is 7th degree, other styles is 8th degree. So our style is 7th degree. You're Grand Master.
Okay. Okay. Real quick, what are I know the beginning belt. I took a little bit of karate, and then I got sick. And I had a white belt. That's the lowest, the beginning. Or did I even have a belt? I don't even know if I had a belt. I don't even think I had one. They told me to pin that thing and keep it moving. No. I think it was a white belt with the uniform. Is that correct? A white belt, right?
White belt now. They start out with white belts and move up. However, back in the day when Grandmaster Roane and I started, we started with Monsu Parks and Tak Young, and you started no belt.
What
you
you
had to
call
earn a white belt.
That's what it is. Sound like you call it. Say that again.
I say when Grandmaster Roane and I started back in Tak Young back in the day, we started with a no belt.
Okay.
And then we had to work our way up to white belt.
Oh, okay.
You said Taki Young, right? Is that
Tak Young, right?
Tak Young.
Is that a style?
That was a art and career before Taekwondo was.
Gotcha.
Okay. Gotcha.
Learn something already. That's why he's like, oh, that's why we were like, how
We're going to a different language.
Yeah. Look, say that again so we can catch it. Look.
Okay. So well, you already told me to become a master. Once you get to the 4th degree, then you're a master, and then you have to go 4 more levels or something.
Yes. Actually 3. It depends on the system that you're studying in. In our particular system, as Grandmaster Belfield mentioned, at 7th Dan. Now I'm a 7th Dan. Grandmaster Belfield is an 8th Dan. Master Holley is a 4th Dan. He will recently, in the very near future, be a 5th Dan. And once you get to those degrees, depending on how you're training and what you're learning, you will be promoted to a higher rank. In some instances, it takes longer for others to do that than it would other people. But usually at 7th degree, you're supposed to know, you would know at least 17 forms. Forms are fighting patterns that you use in martial arts, and they become more complicated the higher belt that you go. You're expected to use more control, more power. Your breathing is supposed to be more controlled. You're supposed to be proficient in weapons and self-defense. The whole general defensive mode of martial arts. And you usually take your tests in a board of very high-ranking black belts. And depending on their decision is how you become a grandmaster. And that usually takes at least, the average person is going to be a grandmaster. They've been training at least over 25 years to 30 years. Wow. Grandmaster Belfield and I have been doing this for over 50 years. Okay. And so, and I just became a grandmaster in 2011. Wow. You know, after all of that time. So it's a rank that's not easily achieved, and it's very few. that hold that rank legitimately.
Right.
Here in the United
So I can't
States,
walk
we
around
have,
and be like,
you know, a whole lot of-
Grandmaster, what?
You know what? I'm interested. How many, if you know, black grandmasters are there?
Right now in the United States, we have quite a few.
Okay.
And that is because of the American organizations that have sprung up over the years.
Mhm.
They've disassociated themselves with the Orientals
Okay.
for a lot of different reasons.
Mhm.
And because actually, to be quite frank with you, we weren't getting our due, and we were the ones who was really doing the martial arts, getting the reputations for these gentlemen.
Okay.
And then when it came time for you to get your rank that you were supposed to have, they always bumped it up one,
Yeah.
as opposed to when they came over, the minute they hit the shores of the United States,
Right.
if they were a second Dan over there, they automatically became a fourth or fifth Dan over here.
Okay.
You know, and we were more legitimized than they were.
Gotcha.
You know, with that. So, but you do have a few nowadays, and a lot of these men, especially with the black gentlemen that you're referring to,
Right.
have been in the martial arts as long as Master Belfield and I, and some even longer.
Okay.
We have some great black martial artists out there that you will never hear about. With that, and if people did the history, they would be amazed. They have a saying in Japan that you are not a true samurai unless you have a drop of black blood in you.
Oh, I like that.
And that's for, and it would
Yeah, I
take
like
a
that.
long time to explain
Right.
that to you. But blacks have had a history of martial arts in the Orient almost from its inception.
Oh, wow.
With that, you know, but it's something that like a lot of our history has we don't
Right.
know about.
Gotcha. So, Master David,
Yes.
you nervous?
No, man.
I was Gracie. You get out there and be flipping and throwing people. You shouldn't be nervous. So, my first question to you is, how did you become involved in martial arts?
My father went to a mechanic down West Philly. His name was Ed Kubayola.
Okay.
And Ed said one day to my dad that he did martial arts, and my dad was interested in getting my brother and I started. So he said, all right, well, come on up to my class. My master there, you know, is Master Belfield. So when I was 7 years old, my dad woke us up one morning and said, look, I'm going to karate class. And that was it. And my mom was involved as well. That was all she wrote.
So, did you like it from the very beginning, or were you like,
I was
what?
I was always a martial arts fan, watching Bruce Lee flicks and everything like that. And back in that time, I guess it was like, you know, all the cartoons, you know, always fighting and doing
Right.
different types of karate and martial arts. So I was always interested in doing something like that. And, you know, when you're a kid and when you're young, it's just, you're not as disciplined, you know.
Right.
But as I got older, I began to embrace it more myself, opposed to my parents saying, look, let's go. It's time to go. Go to
Okay.
class.
Let me ask you something real quick. Because you brought something up that was one of my questions, and I think I spoke to Grandmaster Roane. That's gonna be funny because it's my uncle. I was gonna say Uncle Ed, so it's like I'm trying to get my thoughts together. But I spoke to him about something about more so the martial arts in the film, like the Jackie Chan and who else? All the martial artists,
Jet Li's
and all those. Do you look at some of those individuals as okay, is real, or some of them is just like, like they're not really authentic, I should say, martial artists.
No, they're authentic.
All
Yes.
because I remember we
They're
spoke. I
authentic.
remember we spoke about. I'm
Yeah.
trying to think who we spoke about. There's an actor that he basically really acts. So it's like, you know. And do you feel this is a two-part question? So you feel as though that they are authentic, they're just acting and they're showing exactly their art and craft.
Yes.
All right, now, do you feel as though, because I know it's real big now, because a friend of mine, Zim Productions, I got to give him a shout out because he put me down with the Umbop series, right? And I know that, do you feel as though that is, some of it is degrading to the art? Or do you think like some films, they just like killing and chopping and it'd be some real phony stuff. Like You know what I mean? Popping heads off. I mean, because some of these films, you understand what I
Yeah,
mean? Some of it, like, you know, it's like, come on, man, you just degrading the art,
Right.
like, for real.
Some of the films sometimes is choreographed, you know, very well, but the people who are doing it, I don't downplay them not one bit.
Okay.
You know, and you know, for a movie or whatever the case may be, and depending on who your producer is,
Right.
you have to make it look good.
Right.
You know, because that's where your money's coming from. So to do something in a film that you say, man, can that really happen? That's what all the movies do for us.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? Is this really possible? And they make things possible on television that in our minds and in our world is not really possible.
Right. Right.
You know, and that's why we go to the movies to see these things, to see what we actually really can't do.
Right.
We enjoy
it's
that.
fun enjoying seeing it. Right?
It's fun and enjoying
I know
it.
probably when y'all see some of the films, you're like, come on, man, because y'all know if it could be done or not. So some of the stuff that they add the little, you know, effects is like,
Now Jackie Chan, he do his own stunts.
Right.
He does all that.
Yeah.
And he's actually been hurt a lot of times, broken bones. A lot of movies has been set back for him getting healed, and he'll go right back out and do it. He has no stunt double at all.
So that tell you he's doing his stuff.
He's doing his thing.
Right. What you got, Liz? look, I see you like you want to jump in there. I know I say stuff, and she be like, "Wow, all right."
No, because I was just thinking that would be the one, because I'm like replaying the movies. Remember we used to go to I don't know how old you are, but I know everybody else in this room, except for maybe Amina, because she's not originally from Philadelphia. But you remember the Capitol Theater on 52nd Street, and they used to play on Saturdays. We would go down there for $2. You can go in there and see 3 kung fu karate movies. That, like, everybody did that. People would come and go down to the Capitol Theater. You $2 or how much ever it was, and you get to see. That's all they played on Saturdays is 3, and you literally could sit there and watch 3 of them. And I'm just thinking, like, that would be the one to me where it would be authentic, because you can do those different techniques without really hurting someone if both people know what they're doing. Right? Does that make sense? Because you can choreograph it better than you would like when you see somebody like an actor punch another actor and you know they're really not connecting, because you have to practice those things to you know
Right.
to do your tests and things like that, right?
Right, and like Master David say, Holley, they are, you know, they rehearse, and in the beginning, some of the martial artists will tell you they weren't used to that because they had to come up with those techniques because that's what sells, you know. But you're absolutely correct. We have to practice and practice, so we have great control. That's part of you. You're not gonna be a black belt if you don't have control,
Right?
You know, like years ago, Grandmaster Roane and I took our second day under the Koreans. There was 13 of them that's judged us up there, and a lot of them was Grandmasters. And we have to punch each other fast and come close and stop it within inches with control. And so it's all about control. So there are control techniques that police train on us for control techniques that you can take somebody down without hurting them and put them in arm locks and
You
whatnot.
need to brush them up on some of that training. I'm just saying. I'm not saying.
I think it should be mandatory.
Yeah.
Seriously.
No, seriously.
No, I agree with you, and I know why you said it, because a lot of police officers, which I know a lot of them, shout out to y'all, but they need some control.
Some type of control.
Yeah.
And at the same time, it's good to be able to defend yourself before you know, instead of just going to shoot. If you can throw somebody down and actually know what you're doing, then you won't always have to reach for your gun as fast as you're reaching for it.
Right.
And I think that I know, I mean, that's one of my questions is the discipline of martial art.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
one of
probably is
mine.
one of the hardest things that you can learn. I mean, because when people picking with you and everything, I know from, you know, talking to my uncle, I'm gonna call him uncle, I don't care what you to my uncle, learning from my uncle, you know, Grandmaster Eddie, is that the discipline part is very important, you know, because he was telling me that, you know, y'all, you know, as teachers are not going to teach someone unless they do have discipline, because you don't want them out in the street just beating people up because they know how to. That's not what martial arts is about.
Yeah, I mean, how difficult, and I guess this would be, well, for all of you guys, how difficult was it for you to get to that level? Because I too, like Mark 5 was saying, it's not, people think it's about learning how to beat people up, or, you know, yeah, I can kick your butt because, you know, I know karate, blah, 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 but isn't martial arts more about almost like yoga? It's that meditation, that learning to have that self-control and not react when, if I want to walk up to Master David and try to antagonize him, and like, yeah, I know he take martial arts, so I'm gonna try to see how bad he is. But him having enough control to walk away because he know what he could do to me. But isn't it? I don't want to say 50%, but isn't it mostly about having that self-control and knowing your body and mind?
Well, a lot of it would depend on, that could be pretty hypothetical, but a lot of it would depend on the situation that you're in. Um, um, when we teach martial arts, it's more important for me to teach your mind than anything else, because I could teach you all the technique in the world, everything. If you're going to go out there, if you're going to lose control, if you're going to lose it, you're not going to use your technique properly. You're going to do things that you don't need to do. You might use excessive force when you don't have to do. A lot of people take martial arts, they almost take it for like, I'm going to learn how to dance, because you have to impress on them that this is a contact situation that you're in now. You're going to get hurt. And you must understand that when you go out in the street, you're going to, in a fight is a two-way situation.
Right.
You're going to receive as well as give. And a lot of people don't quite understand that. And that's why when we train, sometimes depending on how quick the students develop, we're going to go at you pretty hard sometimes with that. And it's necessary, because if the first time you get hurt, you're going to fold up. What's all that other stuff for? So it's about conditioning the mind.
Okay.
And you do have to learn how to be lethal and non-lethal, depending on the situation. Of course, if this man pulls a knife on me or a gun, I'm going to do anything in my power to do what I need to do to keep you from inflicting that on me.
Right.
But then there's another situation, if it's merely a fight, then I'm going to only do what I need to do to get you off of me. And so you have to be able to recognize that. And that's the hardest part of martial arts to teach. It's always hard to teach the mental aspect of it than the physical. The physical is probably the easiest, really.
Okay.
And if I could add to that, as an example, Master Holley, he's been with me since he was 7 years old. And that's a lot of years. I just say he's in his 20s now.
You want to know, right?
Yes.
How old are you, Dave?
29.
29.
Okay.
And I've trained him. I've trained him, and it have gotten pretty rough, even when he was small, but he hung in there. And it was rough. We're not easy. And so he could easily go out and do what you just said,
Right.
but he never have. He never have, and he's a big guy, knowing what he knows. And he's always, but I always taught him, and Grandmaster Roane and I, that the spiritual part of it, the mental part of it. And he don't have to prove anything, because he knows if someone bothers him wrongly, what he can do, So he's a prime example of it. He's never had any problem in the street, never go out there beating up people or something like that. So that's a very important part of it. And let me say, education is a very part of it. You cannot train under us if you fail in the school. You have to bring those grades up.
Okay.
Education is everything, and will that way. And there's a grandmaster over us, Grandmaster Ozzy Wright, 9th degree, and he's the same way. He was a principal of West Philly and all like that, and he's education. All of us, education comes first.
Now let me ask you real quick, man. Let me ask you, what's the highest degree of Grandmaster? I don't know if I missed it, but I know I just heard you say
Right here in our style is the 9th degree. The
9th degree is the highest.
Yeah, and Ozzy Wright have. But years ago, it was 7th degree. And as Grandmaster Roane pointed out, when we were coming up under those careers, they said, oh, well, we better go up a little higher. So they went to 8th degree, raised Grandmaster a degree, then they went to 9th degree. So it stands at 9th degree. Now the Japanese style, they have the 10th degrees.
So can it change? Like say like right now it's 9, but say can they say, all right, you know what? We need to add up another one.
It will be one
will
day.
be?
Yeah, it will be.
And,
So it can change.
Yeah, in order to for Grandmaster Ozzy Wright to go to 10th degree, we would get a board. it would be a board of grandmasters and would say, well, wait a minute, you have to elevate him to 10th degree. So it could change, that he would become a 10th degree. But right now, it would have to be a board of grandmasters to elevate him to that position of 10th degree.
Okay. Do you? I'm very passionate about children and how they grow up, and so I'm really glad that you said that about the education, if their grades or not. But when you find parents that bring their children to your school, do you feel like it helps them in other aspects of their life? The streets are hard. They definitely totally different from, I'm sure you guys had your hardships growing up on the streets. We went through our own thing. I'm sure Master David went through his own thing, each generation does. But it's like really bad to me now. Like some of the things that the kids face now, we didn't have to deal with that growing up. So do you find that this martial arts helps them to process things better, to have better coping skills? You know what I mean? You want to take that one?
Yeah, I'll take this
You
one.
shake your head like, yeah, no.
First and foremost, for myself, and the reason why I am who I am today is because of my upbringing in my home. No matter what it is, martial arts or whatever you may do in life, whatever extracurricular activity, if it's football, basketball, no matter what, it's the household. And that's some of our issues today with teaching our class is the parents. My parents made me go. I couldn't go outside. It's like, okay, you don't want to go to class, then you can't go outside. All right, I go to class.
Right.
My parents made me go. So, and we often experience a lot of parents say, hey, well, I want to bring my son or daughter to your class for discipline. Okay. So, all right, so they're not getting disciplined at home. All right. So that means anytime that child see any of us in the street, they respect us more than they respect their parents.
Right.
But that's not how it's supposed to be.
Right.
I'm still scared of my dad.
Right.
And him too.
Right.
So it works both ways.
Yeah.
And it needs to be like that. It needs to start at home. Charity begins at home.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, he's absolutely correct, because we get the parents to bring kids in, and the minute the kid don't like it, the parents will stop them from training. But we, as in what we do in the martial arts, we use martial arts as a tool for mentoring. Some of the prerequisites as that you have to understand and obey our rules and protocols in the school. You have to learn who we are, respect the rank. You have to respect each other. We try to suggest to them how to dress properly, and we try to subliminally let them know that the world that you're living in, you have so many people from the hood say this is the real world. That is not the real world.
That's right.
Okay,
We
we're going to
as
hold that
adults,
thought right there, because I
sure,
like how we're going to
sure,
end this. We're going to go into a break and do our mix, and then we'll be back, and I'm going to, everybody remember that what we just left.
Yeah, we did a little trying to throw it on us.
You're tuned into Open Conversation right here on Heat 100 Radio. We'll be right back.
Turn that up.
Everybody was cool.
That's what I said
last.
All right, anything, but I'll tell you who I would like to see you set beside on television, man. I tune in for that show. You and Wendy Williams. And you know how Wendy is, she just go home, girl. I've seen you overly, y'all gonna have the audience with double.
I need you to write Wendy. That girl lives from Open Conversation. My crew gotta come with us.
I'm having her back here. She might take my job.
Okay, so yeah.
All right, anything that we didn't ask.
Feel free if you want to demonstrate on.
He just did a demonstration. We were on LaSalle TV. It's on YouTube now.
Oh, really?
And it's still on LaSalle TV on certain nights.
But he wasn't there, so.
Yeah, but he did a real demonstration. We got hits from all over the country.
Yeah.
What anything that y'all wanted to ask, that y'all want to talk about? I know I want to get information about the school at the end of the show. So that way people can get in contact with you, just in case they didn't know, or just to give that recognition to the facility that y'all, are at.
I want to go. I think we definitely, it's important to break down the different styles, so people, like I say martial arts because it's that's the broad one. It's not karate. Like karate is karate.
That's a
Taekwondo,
no,
right?
Say karate. We are the main thing to satisfy all of us here, because Grandmaster Roane would have came back with me if we weren't doing this. And Dave's been loyal to me all these years, and I appreciate his loyalty. This guy been loyal, but they believe in what I'm doing now. We help the people.
Right.
We teach for a church, and as a community center, and we help a lot of kids. We want to get these kids. That's our enjoyment. Right. Kids off the street helping these kids, and so we have some success stories. You're not gonna reach everybody, but you do. If we reach 1 out of 10, or 2 out of 10, and then you reach 2 out of 10, look, that's gonna add up. That's 4 right there, and it goes on and on. So that's what
do you have any success stories that y'all can?
Oh yeah, man.
We
would still be doing it if we hadn't.
No, I'm saying that you want to say, when we come back on.
But you know, wait
a minute, don't you always know that a female? Like I'm a man, she can ask this. Well, no,
always a gentleman too.
He's
He's a gentleman from being around his father and us.
Yeah.
We lead by example. Now he's leading by example.
Y'all already family. I mean, you've been to my house.
Oh yeah, I certainly have.
Now you family because you family.
Well, we like brothers, man.
Yes,
we like brothers. And this is I'm like his second father. And we like brothers. They're not 40 years we've been friends. Over 40 years.
That's good.
40 rings together, everything.
Man, we have made each
other
other
We
bleed.
have made each other. That's right. We have made each other bleed and this and that. Been friends for over 40 years and never had a bad word with each other. Never had an argument. Never had.
That's a true friendship.
It is. You're lucky if you find. They say one.
Well, my mom raised us, and my Uncle Eddie's the man that was in my life. Took me to the park, took me to my aunts in Virginia. So that's what inspired me to raise my son, which I had my son since he was 2 weeks old. Now he's 25 in May. And I raised him, seeing him raise my cousin Randy. And it was like, my uncle did it, and let me do it. Since his mom was wanted to be in the street. So I raised my son. From watching him raise my cousin. Yeah.
You know why?
And now my son raising his daughter from watching it.
I feel like they can't see. If I can't see, they can't. I know it's not true.
I learned all important things from my sister.
I just feel
I got a lot of problems out in the street because I didn't have any mentoring. I didn't have a proper male. I had a great father, but he raised 20 of us. He was always working. When he died, kind of 16 when I died. So I always regretted not being able to share manhood with them. But that's why you get those kids when they're young. You let them know what a real man is about.
Yeah, you need to.
Not the macho stuff.
Right. Yeah. And a lot of kids don't know. Like there was this guy that was working at a hotel, and I had just started working, and he was like, "Yeah, my girlfriend's pregnant. We have my first son." But I came in one night, and he was like, "I just had the baby." I said, "Okay." So the next night when I came to work, I came in with this basket, and I was like, "I said, God, I'm talking to him." He said, "People feel like this is for you." I said, "You don't even know me like that." I said, "I know I don't. This is my opportunity to talk to you." And I was like, "Now you have the onus on your life of raising a black man. And there's certain things that I need to talk to you about." We sat down and had a good conversation, and he was like, "I can't pay you back." I said, "Yes, you can. What I just did for you, you do for somebody else."
Right. But people are just so not used to. I remember it was a Sunday, it was early, and no, it was a Saturday. And I came home from work, and I was going in the store, and there was a girl with her little kid, and she went there to buy tokens from one of the little corner stores. Well, I had a trans pass. I wasn't going out Sunday, so, and I said, "Don't buy that token." And I gave her my trans pass. She looked at me like I said 3 hits. She was like, "Well, here." I said, "No, I don't want the money." I said, I'm done. I'm got off work. I'm going in my house. I don't run the streets. I don't need to go anywhere. You can have it, And she was like, she kept thanking me and thanking me. I was like, "You're welcome." And I was just like, wow, people just don't, you know what I mean? This is stuff that we did, like it was nothing
They
for
don't
each
even know how
other.
to respond.
Yeah, she was just like, are you sure you don't want? I was like, no, keep your money. I'm done with it. You know, have it. She was like, so it's just little things like that, like that maybe one day she'll turn around and do that. You know, because it's something, you know, she probably was like, yeah, this lady, I don't even know this lady. She's gay. You know, it's sad because we weren't like that growing up.
No,
We were
we
used
weren't.
to people being kind to us. You know. How long is this?
We ready to come back now. I don't want to waste no time. You can fade it out. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? All right. You can fade it out.
And we're back. Wow, engineer, you.
Do you look? You got a quick draw McGraw over there. Look. Go.
This is Open Conversation on Heat 100 Radio, and we're back. That was MC Every Day. I miss him. He had some good music. That was my man. But we're sitting here talking about martial arts, and you had a question before we went to break.
I always got questions.
Yeah, 2 more questions. Come on,
It's called Open Conversation.
Come on with the question.
Simply D, we are the hosts. We're supposed to have questions.
Okay, come on with the question. Did you forget?
Don't you?
Did you forget the question?
Never.
No, whatever.
So if you just joined us, you know, as Simply D said, we're talking about martial arts. We have 2 grandmasters in the building and a master. So hopefully you were listening because we're not going to go back into the differences. So, you know, that's what happens when you don't tune in at 6 o'clock to the Open Conversation Show.
Well, wait a minute. They can go on YouTube tomorrow, search Sadior LLC, and watch the show live from the Ustream.
You like how I did that?
Yeah, good Kevin.
Yeah.
What's up, Kev? Kev watching this on the Ustream.
Hey, Kev. Oh,
Hey, Kev Johnson.
Hi, Kev. He's one of our longtime supporters of our show. Okay, the first question I have is explain. I don't know how many different styles of martial arts there is. I know you ain't correcting nobody. Boy, don't you get this will be a whole nother show. Anyway, Kung Fu Fooey.
That's what he said.
We're gonna be talking about some Kung Fu Fooey. Doesn't that sound like a dish?
It was a cartoon. It was a cartoon.
There was never no cartoon Kung Fu Fooey.
It was a cartoon called Kung Fu Fooey.
I'm gonna find out. Go ahead.
Google that. You know my favorite. Google that. What are the different styles and you know, because everybody thinks it's all karate. So let's clear that up right now.
Actually, karate was connected with the Japanese style, but everybody, all the schools started saying karate because people didn't know what you was meant by taekwondo and whatnot. Now the Korean styles, you know, we have taekwondo and taekwondo. It's a lot of styles. And Japanese have a lot of styles within their own organization, and the Chinese, it's a lot. You know, now for us, for instance, our main thing is taekwondo.
Okay.
But our basic style is Hankook Musu, which means that she goes.
You won't stop talking to me like that.
Which means a variety of Korean martial arts.
Okay.
Unlimited, we took it to because we have the Tak Young I was talking about, the Taekwondo, Hapkido, and Judo. And we've added, I also was in the art jiu-jitsu, a Japanese style, so that's why we say unlimited, so we could put that in there, unlimited, so it could be mixed in with the Korean style, you know. But it's a lot of different styles out there.
So you guys are grandmasters and masters in Taekwondo. Okay. Do you know any other styles, or have you done like jiu-jitsu or something?
I spent 16 years in Virginia, and while I was there, I trained with some people, the Shorin people, which were Japanese style.
Okay.
And but over the years, I think Grandmaster Belfield and I have seen so much and trained with so many Japanese people. We know some of the terminology. We know what their weapons are. With that, there's and nowadays, especially nowadays, the only difference in the martial arts is as far as the actual execution of a technique are the forms. The forms are a little different. If you see a Japanese form and you see a Taekwondo form, they're very distinctive of each other in that we do a lot of the acrobatic high kicking where there's a very strong and very short, sharp, powerful kicks with that. They're very hard style. A lot of the Taekwondo is an incorporation of the Japanese style because, as you know, or maybe if you didn't, Japan occupied Korea for some time. And what did they forbade them to practice their art? And they taught them karate instead of allowing them to use their own original martial arts, which is indigenous of the country.
Okay.
And so what that happened, Taekwondo is an incorporation of the Japanese system and the Korean system.
Oh, okay. Did you have a question?
Yeah, like they have this thing now where they have, I guess it's called kickboxing, and it seems like it's boxing and the martial arts mixed into one. Am I correct or not incorrect? It's similar, but yeah, it's similar. The kicking is a little different. The boxing, I took a class Muay Thai kickboxing, and a lot of them kick with their shin, do knees, elbows, things like that, and it's a more upright fighting style, you know, because that's what boxing is pretty much is upright. A lot of martial artists, we fight to the side, a little bit, but it was an interesting it's an interesting style to actually learn, you know, and it teaches you a different way of fighting. It gives you a broader knowledge of how to defend yourself in different aspects and positioning. So I was used to a certain position, and then when I got in there, I'm like, wow, this is kind of hard to get used to because, you know, if I'm standing upright fighting, then I can get a knee to my stomach. You know, I could get a kick to my stomach, and fighting on the side, I can protect it better. But fighting upright as a boxer, it's kind of hard. So it's a real interesting style.
But would they know that tech? Like, would they know that if they kick with their shin, would they know? Would they try to kick you in your stomach, or knee you in your stomach? If they're taught to kick with their shin, like
you're taught to kick with your shin, you're taught to use your knees and your elbows, and also they kick to the legs.
Gotcha.
So you know what I mean. When you got a hard shin coming towards your leg, you know my automatic reaction was to block with my hand, but I'm not going to block with my arm with a shin, because it'll break. So I had to learn actually how to block with my leg.
Gotcha.
And it's a little different.
So you felt like you was all open.
I was,
Well, real quick, before we introduce our other guests, let me ask the question. One of our followers inbox me and asked me, how much of the physical, how much do you have to learn about the body, I should say, and I'm going to throw this in eating before you get into the physical part of training?
That's absolutely imperative because we have a saying, if you teach someone to kill, you must also teach them how to heal. So what we do when we're training with the kids, we will usually call out a part of the anatomy that we're we always emphasize using the maximum gluteus, you know, which is the biggest muscle in your body. And then you have to know what the clavicle is and what muscle is associated with that. And it gives you a knowledge because if I need to take you out and I need to take you out quick, I need to know what part of the body is most vulnerable and is going to be subject to injury. I have to hit you where I can rupture an artery, or either I need to take the arm hail under your nose and drive your cartilage up into your brain. And so, so a student needs to know pretty much he has to know his anatomy. And that's very important to know the anatomy, because if you're out there learning how to, if I'm going to control you, I need to know what part and how it's going to affect you, and I can't do that unless I know anatomy of the body or how that nerve is going to react with that. You can grab me. I can take my foot with your arm and separate the muscle right in your arm, and right away, you know, you're going to drop there. Or you can grab me like this. All I have to do is lean down. Like that. I don't care how strong you are. I could lay down. You can grab me. All I have to do is do like that. It's going to make your arm come down. When it comes down, I can butt you.
Right.
That means I have to know how your body is going to react when I do a certain thing. So that entails knowing anatomy.
Okay. Did you? Oh, this. Okay.
Tone taking notes. He like, I'm gonna make sure I learn this. So I'm gonna call.
I'm gonna go home, be in the basement.
You can step in, sir. Can you introduce yourself and let them know exactly? I know, but let our listeners know who you are.
My name is John A. Black. I'm from the Warrior Guard School with my Grandmaster and my senior master here. Well, now I'm the senior master, but he's the head instructor.
Okay.
And what's your name?
John A. Black.
Grandmaster or master?
I'm master.
Okay.
Now you said the Grandmaster's over here.
So we got 2 masters and 2 grandmasters.
Yes.
All right. So what you had, Tom? I see you over there taking notes.
Look, he don't even want to talk.
He like
He just over there
listener.
like, he up there on his pants.
On this whole.
Would you like to join their
Excuse me.
would you like to join their school? Like, you want to go? Get some
Oh, that's
Maybe.
real quick.
That's what I'm asking.
Let me, since earlier I was giving out some of the information about some of the events, I want to definitely give a shout out to the Book of Nimrod, April 9th at 7 p.m. at Venice Island Performing Arts in Manioc. They'll be having a viewing, and all the actors and production team will be in the building. So if you need to find out some information about that, you can give me a call at the Sadior office, 215-909-6070. Also, you have Simply Monica's on April the 21st, 2015. This year, she's going to be at the Galleria, which is 3320 Collins Avenue. From 10 to 2 a.m. is her birthday bash that Open Conversation will definitely be attending. Roane and Sexy Code. That means no boots, no sneakers, no puma, no t-shirts, and all that other stuff.
It's a red carpet. So
yeah, it's red carpet. That speaks about,
like,
you know,
that's all
like
we need to say.
self-explanatory.
Exactly.
Red
If you don't know
carpet
what
event.
red carpet is, Google it.
No, don't come.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Don't even show
Don't
up.
show up if you don't know what red carpet is. You watch enough award shows and everything that you know what it is.
Yeah.
Just
So I
stay in
definitely
the
have
house.
to let everybody know about those events that we will definitely be attending, and the Book of Nimrod is definitely going in the right direction. That's the film that we're working on. That's a short story. When I say the Book of Nimrod, everybody always say the Bible. No, not the guy from the Bible, because it seems like
This
people.
is so not
yeah,
biblical.
So, yeah, you know, but it's on YouTube. You can YouTube the Book of Nimrod, like that girl did say earlier, to check out this series that's going on. So, just wanted to send a shout out to that.
Okay, so I do have one because I'm the
You said
one
you're
of the
thinking.
2 girls in the room. Are there a lot of women that practice or learn martial arts, period?
We'll let Master Black, since he just got here, we'll let him answer.
Yes, there are a lot of women's practice. When I started back in the 1969 in Muncie Park, I don't think we wasn't masters and grandmasters then. But one of my first trainer was a woman, Shirley. Her name was Shirley.
Braswell.
Right, and
Oh,
she was really good. She could kick. Her body was hard as a rock. And when she was training with me, she would say, "Come over and feel my leg and feel how hard it is." Like I need to feel the heart. But anyway, but that was Shirley.
Okay.
And
you haven't been around me long, so I'm
You're
like,
right.
whoa! I'm let that
Whoa.
go. Whoa! I'm just gonna be like, okay.
And we had 2 other girls that they was good. They was red belt. They were fighting for the black belt, and they was like part of my first trainers. You know, they was higher belt, and they would treat the lower belt when I started. So yes, there's a lot of women. Since I've been training, I met a lot of women that train a lot of women to do martial arts. Yes. More than men a lot of times. They stay longer.
Okay.
And they practice like
And you
that.
know,
If I may interject.
and you know, and get jumping on it while he was one, and he said one of 2 women or 3 women that was trained, and one of them was named Betty.
Right. Oh yes.
Yeah, and one of them was named Betty. I'll never forget her because I was a white belt and we was in Top Young. I'm macho, you know, I'm a young man. young
You
man.
was trying to
I
holler
was a
at
young
that.
man once.
You was trying to holler?
No, I wasn't trying to holler.
Oh, okay.
I was a married man. I wasn't trying to holler.
I was going to say, oh,
But
okay.
anyway,
She was a married woman.
yeah, she was a married woman, and her husband was a second-degree judo, right?
Oh, yeah,
Trained
you
at a
ain't want
black
none of
belt.
that.
No, and
He
I'm
was a white belt.
So I got out there, so we all sparred. So you know what I'm saying, ain't no woman gonna beat me, man. All I said, boom, 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 and that was her foot. Boom, boom, bam, boom, 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 bam. Whoa! Ali didn't hit that fast with his jab, so lady, I'm saying that changed my mind. She was all over me, man. I mean, Jesus Christ.
But if I may interject, what a lot of people don't know is that some of the best fighting styles that you have in the martial arts, the most lethal styles, have come from women. In China, the women were not as strong as the men. They developed styles that were so good that they defeated the men with them, and they were very lethal. And the men actually adopted these styles and incorporated them into the system that they use them. A lot of women are the inventors of some of the some of the most deadliest systems out there. And we've had women that we have seen since they were so good that they actually allowed them to fight in the men's division, and they placed. They would take second and third in the men's black belt divisions.
Now, are there any grandmaster women?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah, yes. In fact, we have my niece, Kelly. She's a master under us.
Okay.
But she didn't get it because she's my niece now. She earned
I'm
it.
sure.
She really earned it. And so we have masters. We have women, female black belts with us, and they have been champions.
Okay.
And Master Holley, he's the head instructor, and he's training females. They're good, very good. So.
Now, do the females usually start young, or do you see it where, they, in their 20s or something, where they come into, or do they start like you did 7, 8, 9?
Some of the ones that I've trained, they was really young. They started young, 8, 9, 10, around that age, and then went all the way up until at least they was maybe 16. We had a few good girls that I was training, and they actually moved to New York.
Okay.
So it was kind of heartbreaking because they got all the way up to like green belt and blue belt, and they was doing well. They was doing well.
Okay. Earlier, you guys were talking that you like to try to get kids when they're young to try to get them off the streets. So, how many success stories would you say that you could attest to?
Well, I'm gonna start with one, and they can go around the table because there's many. There's many, and this one I always remember because there was this family, and the grandmother brought the 3 kids to me, 2 brothers and a sister, because they was always fighting each other in the house. They was always fighting each other, and they was very young, 7, 8, 9. So I started training them, made them spar. They had to fight each other all the time in my gym, so they couldn't spar anybody else.
Okay.
So then they got tired of that. And they stopped fighting. I used to take them to tournaments, and Cape May, different places like that. And the girl, she was having a problems with school and this and that. So one day I'm teaching a class, and a young lady sitting out there staring at me many years later. And I said, I thought maybe she wanted to join the class, And then I recognized her grandmother. She got on. I said, oh, wow, how you doing? She said, you don't recognize her? I said, no. She said, that's the young lady you was training. Remember how troublesome you used to be? So she came up to me. She thanked me for the training and the guidance that I had gave her. She said, I just want you to know, I'm a certified school teacher.
Oh, okay.
And she was successful. And stories like that, that's what it's all about. We want to hear about that. Come back and let me know something.
Right.
And that's great, man. That all the training, all this and they've done, all we fought in the rings and whatnot, that's what touches me,
Okay.
Yeah, I've had them CEOs of companies, software companies, all different types of very high professional positions, and years go by, and all of a sudden you get a letter or you get something in your email where they have been tracking you down for years just to touch base with you,
Right.
to talk to you, and just telling you how much they appreciated the fact that how important you were in their development, in what they have become and what they've done in their life, even in their married lives. You know, because we try to impress on the student, whether it be male or female, that when you leave martial arts or during your tenure in the martial arts, when you go out for an employment, your boss don't give a darn what black belt, how bad, how much butt you've ever kicked. He wants to know how productive you can be in his company.
Right.
When this lady is married or gets married, she don't care how tough this guy was in the martial arts. What kind of husband, provider, and lover are you going to be? See, and you try to give them the principles to work with, the understanding of what a being a father is, what being a responsible person is. These are the things that we try to help develop in the student, and they get it. When they stay there long enough, they get it. And it's really, if I had my way, martial arts would be taught in every school system in America, because we need that. We need the discipline. We need everything that the martial. I bet you $1 to a dime our school system would be better. We'd put out better students than we're putting out now if they would have that. You know, because, and a lot of times the parents are worried about the children. Those children are tougher than you think they are.
Right.
He said, our grandmaster, Ozzy, right? He has 6 and 7 year olds down there. You can go down there on 47th and Market and watch for yourself. He treats them just like it. He trained in the military. He was an instructor. He teaches. They are the toughest 6, 7 little kids. He hollers at them. They fight. They smart. They bright. And he teaches them. You got to learn how to tie 2 knots in your tie. He teaches them to go out in the world and be productive citizens. And this is what we were trying to say, because that is the real world. Not that world that you're living in down here with a lot of them think they are. And he impresses that. But this is the success stories are many more than we can sit here and tell there. And like Grandmaster Belfield said, this is why we do it. This is why he and I are still doing it. Because this is the man that's going to take our place right here, David Holley. And just us here, because I'm 74, Master Belfield is 68. You know, we can't do this stuff. This is to the young bucks. Master Black's been with us for over 40 years. He's 69 years old. So this is the guy that's going to go. That's why he's the head instructor. When we say do something like this, Dave. But I tell you one thing, I've never felt more proud or more confident of anyone taking our place and carry on than this gentleman right here.
That's right. So let me ask the question, since we're talking about taking over and younger and older, what's the youngest that you think that a child should start in martial arts?
That's the hobby.
From our experience, we it was 7 years old. That's where we started. But we had some intelligent 5-year-olds.
Okay.
I mean, and they just was ready. They was eager, and they listened. They did what they were supposed to do, And we said, man, well, it all depends on the child. So we entrust the parent with that. Does he listen at home? How is he in daycare, school, whatever the case may be? And usually they say, hey, he's a good listener, or if they say, hey, well, his attention span is kind of, it gets kind of tough. But 7 is the primary age, but like I said, we had some really good 5-year-olds at one point.
My granddaughter will be coming to you. She's 4. I'm working on her now. I told my uncle that before. London will be at the
Matter
school.
of fact, we trained this sister, my niece, for a minute.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And and piggyback on what Master Holley said, you're always learning. We always, I don't care if you're 100 years, if you're lucky, you're always learning. And you guys are one of the first to know it. We were going to tell these guys in the school when we go back to school Thursday. Grandmaster Roane and I was talking. We're making some changes. So Master Black will know now. And he'll know now. We're making some changes. because the 5 years old, as he was saying, they get restless after a certain while. So we're gonna start them from 7 to 7:30. They're trained with the class. Then they can go home. 5 years old, five and six. Come on, go get your homework or whatever you got to do. And then the ones from 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11, we're gonna let them go an hour. And then they won't be there after that because they're gonna be looking over here, looking over there. And then if you're 12 years old and over, and everybody know if you're from the day, you could the movie something, you had to be 12 years old to get in, right? So 12 and up, then we can finish that last hour and just go to town, So we adjust as we go. It's a revolving process. You always adjust it for the better of your students.
Right. See, breaking news, open conversation.
You got it first.
You heard it here first on Open Conversation. What is is there such a thing as too old to start learning?
That's black.
No, you
Why
never,
y'all
you
tell
never.
me? That's the black. I don't know.
I'm the baby of these two. I'm the baby of these two.
That's why he was quick to throw it over there.
Yeah, you're never too old. And like you were saying, 7. Like you said, lately we have. I know of 3 kids that we had that were 5 and 6, and even this Thursday night pass, they trained. They did well from 7 o'clock until 8 o'clock. Then they start looking around. They want to go to the bathroom and everything. So I just tell them bow out, took them to the family that they had enough because all of a sudden they lost interest. If you don't do a game or something, then they want to do everything but train. And then when Master Dave come in from work, a lot of times he do the rolls and stuff, and they look at me. I just, well, it's your turn now. Now they change the ball game and they get into the rolling, but they already did the kicking and the punching. What should do, what not. So now they want to roll, learn how to roll, and Master Dave would take over, and then he'd do the roll. And after then, when they get through with that, 20 minutes or so, it's time for them to go home because then they're not interested anymore.
Right.
I want to go to the bathroom. Everybody want to run. No, you can't go out in the hallway and play. The oldest, how old was that lady that fell out in the hallway?
Master Logan is
82.
84.
84.
Yeah.
Right.
84.
See, you can still simply do. You can still.
No, we know a woman who trained with a young tiger. She started at a very old age. She's in her late 60s. Just got a black
Still
belt.
competing.
Yeah.
In the ring. Still
There's
competing.
hope for
There's
you.
hope for you.
Yeah.
All right.
And we had
Oh, you gonna pay my fee out?
and we had a lady that trained under Corinthian when we first got there. She was about 67.
67.
Right.
67. And then she was training for a while, maybe 3-4 months or whatever the case may be. And she said that she came in one night and said that she had fell down the subway steps. And she said from what we taught her on how to fall, she said she don't have one scrape or bruise on her.
Late 60s.
This is
Wow.
really
That's and that was another thing that made us proud because when we first started Corinthian, we had a lot of ladies was in their 50s and 40s and 60s, and they had never did anything like that. And I taught them a lot of judo and jiu-jitsu, and they was throwing each other over the back after we taught them. And the one he's talking about was she land, bam, she land right when the lady. Well, they was wrestling, and 50-something-year-old lady went boom and threw over the shoulder, and she fell. She jumped up. I like this. I ain't never had nothing like this. So you're never too old. You're never too old. They really enjoy it.
So let me ask you, because I know y'all said, I heard the school, I heard church. Name some of the places that you do take, like school and teaching, like that you have, went and taught at. Like I know the churches. I mean, community centers. How do you pick? Let me ask you this: how do you pick where you teach at?
Well, I'm gonna tell you how we first came on our own. First, it was we broke away from our master, so I'll turn that over to Grandmaster Roane because he was the start of us being on our own with the school.
In 1980, our instructor, Master Dusu Park, he retired, and he turned the school over to me. And we were at that time known as Park Karate. We had a great reputation for being fighters. But I realized that it took more than that to be a good martial artist. So we went out, we learned as much as we could. We trained with a lot of different people. And we also trained other different instructors, instructors, Master T. Jack Go, Grandmaster Pong Lee. But what we did, we adjusted our system that it made you knowledgeable, because this is a martial art, and like any other art, when I asked you about it, I expect you to give me some intelligent detail, what it's about. I want you to be informed. You expect me to be informed. If you're coming to me and I'm your teacher, you want me to be an informed individual. You know, you want me to give you the best that I got, you know. So in order to do that, you have to study. Martial arts entails some of the most complicated thought that there is. Once you study man, he's the most complicated thing on the earth. And this is the study of man. This is the study of the universe. And you have to learn this in detail. And it takes years and years and years to do. And you asked us what it took and how long it took to become a Grand Master. This is the criteria that it takes to become a Grand Master. Your knowledge in the martial arts, not how much you can fight. Because once you become a first-degree black belt, the only difference in you becoming a Grand Master is that you might learn some more movement of the patterns. You're going to be, he knows how to do every kick at first dan that we know how to do as masters and Grand Masters. But it's learning how to explain and break that kick down, explaining the dynamics of that kick, how the body reacts to it. And explaining the thought of man. This is why you hear all of the Zen books that are written by martial art. All that applies to martial arts, because now we're going into when you learn how to meditate, you must understand the mind and how the body and the breathing and all of that is broken down into physics and all other types of things. And this is what you learn over the years. When I tell you I'm a Grand Master, you expect me to know more than learning how to do a jumping back kick or D-dolly or chuggy, on chuggy, yup. So, you know, anybody can learn that. You can go on Google and learn that. We have more.
I can't even say
We
that.
have more. Not only that.
Gotta Google it, but okay.
You'd be surprised how many YouTube masters we have out there now. Because when we were coming up, you couldn't find a book to show you a black belt form or shit. You can go on YouTube. Every form that they have in this in any system is there for you to see. The weapons, how to get, and got people learn this and they go out. So my suggestion is, if you have a child that you are thinking about want to learn martial arts, do your homework about the instructor, because I see so many people in their 30s with hip replacements and knee replacements because they have trained wrong. They got them kicking at the air with all their power. How are you going to hurt the air? You know, and so that puts wear and tear on the joints. And these guys at 30, 35 years old, they need hip and knee replacements. You want to learn your power. That's why you need the heavy bag for resistance. That's how you learn power, not kicking at the air. So if you go down and see a guy telling the school, get more power, I want to have this, that guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's a bad instructor, because he's doing more harm to you than good.
And let me show you how faith works. We're all sitting here, and we are the two Grand Masters, and we were forced to become black belts. We too did not want our black belt, because in those days, as he said, when you become a black belt, everybody was watching you. You had to be a black belt. Everything you do when you get on that floor, people watch. So we said, we ain't gonna do that. We were gonna be professional red belts, you know. And John, he was Master Black. He was up there. He was teaching for Master Mansu Park, and we had went with Master Dusu Park. He was his instructor, and he told us. What did he tell us? He said, "Look, you guys either take your black belt test or quit. Get out of the art." So we had to take it. Then we just went from there. We weren't gonna take that and not learn, so we just kept advancing, you know. But we all started under the same instructor, Mansu Park. That's how we all met. And then we went with Dusu Park, and he stayed with Mansu Park for a while.
Okay.
So we have 5 minutes left here on Open Conversation. What I want to do is go around the room and say I'm interested in martial arts. And I ask you, I'm interested in martial arts. What would you say to me the dude's like, you know, people say, oh, I'm interested in being on the radio, like somebody said to me. And I'm like, they think you just sit here on a mic and they don't understand what goes on behind the scenes. So if I said to you I was interested in martial arts, what would your first statement be after I said that to you?
Well, I would ask you, ask you, why do you want to learn martial arts?
Okay.
And see what you're saying over there. As Grandmaster Roane says, if you want to learn martial arts, go out there and break somebody's head or this and that, because I see you, you come to the wrong place.
Right,
You
right.
know, so I want to know why you want to get into martial art, what you're going to contribute to it. You know, you're going to be dedicated and learn hard. And most of all, once you hit that floor, it's not mom and dad, it's not uncle. You belongs to us.
And also,
But
what?
it's
I'm glad you
in
said
a
that.
good way.
Right, right.
Dedication.
No, the only reason I say I laugh because it's going to trip my uncle out that I remember. There's a story, you know, I love my cousin, Rennie. His name Edward Jr. I love him, but I got to
I
tell
love
the
it
story.
too.
I wasn't going to tell this story, but I remember back when my uncle had a school, and it was me and my cousin Rennie. He was training with his dad, and I guess my uncle got too rough with Rennie. That he got mad and walked away because, like he said, when you just said it, that's what made me say I would tell the story. When you're on that mat, it's not dad or pop or uncle. It's a whole different ball game. You're there to learn, and I definitely co-sign that. That's why I didn't take it, because as I see my cousin get beat up by his pop. I said, nah, I'll sit here and watch this one.
But
You
can
know,
I
but
pick
yeah,
back
yeah,
on that?
definitely.
He came to me, he said, Dad, I want to stop taking karate. I said, why? He said, I'm tired of my father beating me up like that.
Right.
And my reply to him was that, son, I don't care how educated you become, how articulate you are, there's going to be situations in your life where the only way that you can relate to somebody is through physical force. It's going to happen. Must have been 2 years later. He came to me, he said, Dad, I know what you mean now. And he took his girlfriend to the movie, and he was sitting in front of these obnoxious guys that were in back of him, and he tried to be diplomatic and try to get, and he said eventually he had to get with them.
Yeah.
That's the only way that he could resolve, get any resolution to that. So and today he will tell me, Dad, I wish I had stayed. That's what
And that's crazy, because I
told
wish I
me
would have
many,
took that
many
class
times.
then. I'm not gonna, I really wish I would have started.
And Dave will remember this. It was back in 1992. My nieces came out there. I had 3 nieces came out there on 4. 1 stayed. The other 3 quit after that night. And they went back. She said, Uncle Carlton on the floor. No, it ain't about that. So they quit. They thought they was gonna get out there. Oh no.
Yeah.
They quit after one night. You remember that? 1992.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, I want to
Go around the room.
because we got 2 minutes left, but I want you guys. Are you taking new students? Are you always taking new students?
yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Real quick, I want to give out the information, contact information, where you're located, and what you actually teach, because we covered a lot of information. One question I do have: do you teach for, I guess, women self-defense there, or is it strictly you coming there for taekwondo and getting belts and stuff, or do you teach self-defense? And if not, I'm suggesting maybe
No,
you should.
it's a program. Everybody have to know the same thing to become the next rank. But you learn, you learn self-defense. We teach taking weapons away from people, judo, throwing. We have you to wrestle with each other. So you experience every aspect of the martial arts that you can.
Okay. So, but I'm saying, do you have a program where if I was just interested in learning self-defense?
That's
No,
it.
nothing.
That's the rest.
Okay.
But they have plenty of classes that you can just go learn yourself.
But I might want to learn from Grandma, but okay. Yeah, give out the information to whoever wants to.
Well, since we're at a community center, you have to contact and come through me with the phone number. And that's 215-605-2669, 605-2669. That area code is 215. And the address to the community center is 6100 North 21st Street. That's the Corinthian Community Center. It's right on the corner of 21st and Spencer. And we're there on Thursdays, from 7 o'clock. The doors open at 6:30, but we there from classes from 7 to 9.
Okay. Anybody have any final thoughts? Any final
Yes, go ahead.
words?
No, well, I think we had, I don't know, all the grandmasters answered all the questions already. I don't know what can I add to it, but you were talking about like the self-defense thing. I mean, to me, training itself is self-defense. It's depending on how do you feel and what do you think. You know, 'cause just normally you already know self-defense. And like he was saying about, Grandmaster was saying about killing and stuff like that. We don't do that because you don't need to train to do that. You can pick up a brick off the street and put somebody up against the wall and hit their head or something. And, you know, like the same thing. You don't have to train for that. You already know that. You know, mainly we want to teach you. My thought is within my truthful thought is how not to kill. We want to learn how to save life, not to destroy life. That's the way I feel.
Absolutely.
And that's what I say. I may teach you a technique, but I'm gonna show you this is gonna save you. You only use this particular way unless you're saving your family. And less more than that, try to dance away from it. And that's very, very important that when you look at a person, you automatically know what you can do to them.
Right.
So then you can say, you know what you're not gonna let them do to you. But you don't want to destroy them either. You want to save a life. You don't want to destroy a life.
Well,
That's my personal feeling.
That's very true. Well, good. Anybody else? Next up. Go ahead.
Yeah, real quick. My success story is these gentlemen up here with me today.
Right.
You know what I mean? Starting off, I had to pay Master Belfield when we started.
Right.
And then after a while, he said, you know what, you keep your money. So I said, wow. So when I became 17, I got my license, I was able to drive. I was there teaching his classes. So I've been doing that since I was a teenager. If he wasn't able to make it, I was there at 17 years old.
Right.
You know, I made that decision because I seen how it benefited me, and like we talked about earlier, if you do something to somebody and you help somebody out, they say, man, I can't never get that back. All I want you to do is do the same thing I did for you.
That's right.
So that's why I'm here, and that's my success story. I'm finished. Thank you.
No, I appreciate it. I just want to thank you guys for exposing martial arts like this, because a lot of people got the wrong concept of martial arts, and they know that there's people out there like us, and I say like them because these guys support me for what I want to do, and I love these guys. And show Master Black he put it right, he hit the head, nail right on the head. We want to help you, let you help people. You know, not go out there and destroy people. We're not about that. Right. So you guys, and I know this is just one aspect, this is martial arts here. You guys have different groups up here. And you let the community know. Yeah. This is one of you. I know you had other people up here. So I'm shouting out to you guys, man. I love you guys. Hey,
thank
you. Thank you.
Well,
no, go ahead. Go. Go ahead.
Get them.
Go ahead. We on there.
Then you know I'm gonna say it all loud.
I do it, the boss lady tomorrow. Go ahead. Say what you got to say.
No, I learned a lot. Like, wow, a lot of things I didn't know. Some things I knew, you know, from research. Some things I knew because I took a couple classes. But I really learned a lot. You know, definitely a lot of love and respect. You know, to be dedicated to something that long and to be called a grand. I want to be called a grandmaster.
I want to be called a grand host.
That's a good title, boy. But no, you know, like I appreciate that you guys are, you know, holding our youth accountable. You know, you got to have good grades, and you just can't come in here and think you're gonna learn some taekwondo and still mess up in the streets and really embracing our youth. And to see a young man that started at 7. Listen to me, I sound old, a young man. Oh, Lord have mercy. But a 29-year-old that started at 7, and it doesn't take me long to see somebody's character, and I could tell that he's a respectful young man, you know, who's about something. You know, we need more of that, especially in the Black community. We just need more of that. And young ladies who carry themselves with a little bit more respect than what we see. So, you know, for that, I thank you guys. I might show up at your school, you know,
anytime,
thinking I'm going to do some kung fu. Right? No, go ahead.
Well, for those who were listening, I did find what I was talking about, and it's called Hong Kong Fooey. As I said, quite soon.
You say Kung Fung
whatever.
or whatever.
It's right there, Google for
Oh,
you.
whatever.
Okay.
Look that up.
I like to thank you guys for coming out. It was very informative. I'm sure the listeners got some well-deserved information, and hopefully anybody looking to join a martial arts school, hopefully will seek and look you guys out and join your class. I myself might bring my son.
Oh, I thought you was gonna say you.
My son, so that he can start, because he's like, well, he's 4, getting ready to go on 5. So I'll assess him and see if he's ready for something like that, and probably bring him down one day. But I appreciate you guys coming out.
You're quite welcome. Enjoyed being here.
I appreciate the listeners. Hey, this is your bro Mark 5 again with Sadior Presents Open Conversation Show. I definitely want to thank everyone that came out to give more information about martial arts. I'm going to talk behind the scenes about maybe us coming, because we also have a TV show where we have cameras and stuff like that. So maybe, I don't know what we have to go through. We'll talk about it as far as us coming actually and getting some live footage to be able to edit into one of our shows, just to give people the visual part of, what we talked about tonight. Right. So definitely, again, I thank you. Thanks, Unc. I know we've been trying to make this happen for a while. So I definitely want to thank the listeners and everybody watching on Ustream. Thanks, Mr. Devon, again for doing what he do. Dark Child, can't wait to have you back. We definitely miss you, because I know when they got into the meditation, I know you would have went in, because Dark Child meditates every morning.
Yeah, she
would definitely would have went more into the meditation. So again, it's now 7 after 8. I know we're past our time. Monica, don't kill us. But tune in next week when we talk about bullying. Ain't that something? We talk about martial arts, then we're going to go into bullying. We'll have Zai on the show, and we will be again attending Wednesday.
Yes, Wednesday, March 18th. We are doing the anti-bullying fundraiser at it's Solar Soul Restaurant on Ridge Avenue. Ridge Avenue. It's on my Facebook. It's on Mark's Facebook. If you're friends with my sister Demetri, it's on her Facebook. It's only $20. It's for a good cause. It's to bring awareness to bullying. We've all experienced it or known someone or seen someone. So definitely come out. If you have any questions, you know how to reach me. So that's all I got.
Again, a lovely show, and we'll see you next Thursday here on Sadior Presents Open Conversation on Heat 100 Radio.
I wanted to say everybody
Good
was
show, good show, good show.
One more time. Yeah.
Now we just gotta get some pictures real quick.
That's right down the street from my job, Solar Soul.
Oh, okay.
Come out next Wednesday.
Yeah, definitely.
From 6 to 10:30. So it's early. It's a fundraiser.
Yes.
Are you on Facebook?
Yeah, I'll see you guys.